When I first started my business, I had 0 people who knew what I did and 0 people who even knew what my business was or what I could do for them. It was my job to get out there and explain it to them and close the sale. Basically, convince them that my service is worth using. I'm going to tell you guys how I did that today. So I actually started Social Web back in February 2024. So that's about a month and year and 3 months, I believe, ago. And basically it started because I was working at a bagel shop only making $10 an hour, which in 2024 is, that's pretty much criminal in my opinion. And I just wanted to believe in myself and bet on myself. I've always wanted to be a business owner, and this was just that moment that I was like, dude, you're not paying me enough. I need to be paid more. The boss was like, hey, that's not my problem. I said, bet. I'm not working for the men anymore. I'm going to actually start building my services and building my strengths and selling it to people. And not that I ever really wanted to be a salesman, but when you're selling a product that you are a part of, it really doesn't really feel like selling. Some days it does when you're doing multiple calls a day, but regardless, that's kind of the origin story of it. I just believed in myself and I was like, I want to give it a shot. So some of the main initial challenges I had, honestly, was just everything. So let me talk about getting the first client, why it's important and why it's also really hard. For one, you can't charge like crazy unless you have a ton of experience or you have that conviction in order to go in there and just say a crazy number and get the job. What I mean is, if I would have pitched my services what I pitch them today as, like the price wise, everything included, I would be extremely nervous. I wouldn't, I feel like I'm almost lying to the client, to the potential prospect. So I had to go in there charging really, really low and being like, just give me a shot. It's worth way more than this, but I'm charging you very low because, again, I'm just learning this. I was even leveraging the fact that I was being mentored in it, guys. Any kind of leverage you can use that is actually good conviction to be who you say you are, leverage it, okay? Especially now. I've landed some big clients in my area, so now I leverage that when I go to meetings with people. I say, hey, these guys are my clients. They just did a month. They're going to go do another month now. It's going good. Everything's great. We're happy. Conviction, leverage. So again, the leverage in the beginning, and I'll tell you right now how I got my first client, and then we'll go into some other clients. But my first client I was working for them as a property manager. I was basically like stripping beds for college students. Again, I'm not going to say the name, but they're like an off-campus housing, if you guys understand that. Like college students pay for leases to get off campus, you know what I mean? So I worked under him, and I was like, dude, I could do your Facebook ads. Maybe you could land a couple leases, one a month or something like that, which would easily cover the cost of ad spend. He was only spending $500 at this time on Facebook per month, and my service charge was also $500. So he was investing a total of $1,000, and if he landed one lease, that's $20,000, $30,000 plus, because these leases are for an entire year and for multiple students. So that was the first ad account that I really got to play with. Now, I probably did about a month with him through his ads, and he landed a lease his first month. And that was like a very big, holy crap, I can actually do this. My ad creatives weren't that great, but, I actually, again, I had a mentorship, guys. I had a course, and you guys have YouTube for free. You guys should have my videos eventually. I know that I don't have a lot of resources now, but you can find resources in order to set it up professionally and make it look good. You need to hyper-fixate once you get that client on doing the most amazing job you can, because again, that's going to give you leverage. That's going to give you a case study. Case study is like proof of concept, as well as this is a project that I did, this is how good it went. Case studies matter a lot. So you want to make sure you do a great job. As well as doing a great job, make sure they come back month to month. Don't throw this bag, guys. Once you get the client, getting the client's the hardest part. So obviously I had a nice little in with that business owner. I feel like a lot of you guys are probably working for bigger chains. You can't just go to the owner of McDonald's and be like, hey, yo, let me do your Facebook ads. Doesn't work like that. But for some of you guys that are doing these mom and pops that especially if you learn more about your agency, whatever it is, you could be a website agency, whatever. If you can fill a need and really provide value, more value than you're even going to charge for, you got yourself a good lead, okay? You got yourself a good, hey, me, I worked with you, or even it could be your friends. Dude, in the beginning, getting your first client, it's going to be much harder landing them cold versus somebody who you already know. Cold is they don't know who you are. You have to convince them. They're going to ask you, hey, have you had clients before? And you can't lie. You have to be like, no, I have not. But you'd be my first. And again, that's a huge turnoff because they're like, I don't even know if this kid knows what he's doing. But if you leverage your existing network and say, listen, I'm really serious about this life. I got my own LLC, conviction. I got my own LLC. I'm in a mentorship program. This is the stuff I was doing, guys. I said I was in a mentorship program, made my own LLC. I was leveraging, the fact, and again, I'm also young. So when somebody sees a younger guy being like, dude, he's all about this stuff, he's professional, they want to give you a shot. Deep down they do. If they have the money and they think you can actually do what you say you're doing, they're probably going to give you the money. I'm not going to lie. And they're probably going to want to work with you. Maybe I'm wrong there. But I was closing way too high. I had to raise my price. We'll get into that. That's another conversation. Either way, the second and third client that I actually got from pedaling myself down the street with my camera bag. I had my camera bag on me. Not that I was going to film anything again. Conviction, showing them that I am who I say I am. And then I had flyers, and I was just walking down being like, hey, let's chat, let's work together. I actually ran into another off-campus housing person, and that was a whole different conversation because I was like, dude, I only have one client right now. He was able to land a lease in 1 month, $500 ad spend, my service charge, $500. I'll set the ads up for you. I'll set the videos up for you. All you have to do is call the leads. Boom. I'm in that, okay? He became my client. You have to knock doors, guys. Maybe not physically, but you have to talk to people, say you're going to help them, and if they say no, you pick up the phone and you go again. And that is it. That is all you can do is try. And you have to try a lot. This game is a numbers game. When I go a couple weeks without calling leads, I lose revenue. When I'm on calling leads, I'm getting new clients, I'm building a legit platform, it's legit. But that's what you have to do. It's all about conviction, and it's all about as many times at bat as you can. But real quick, here are some channels that you guys can go to actually get, the outreach that you need, okay? Obviously, the more personalized it is, the better conversion rate you're going to have. What do I mean by that? A face-to-face meeting is going to convert better than a Zoom meeting, okay? A cold call is going to convert better than a cold email because it's more personalized. You could send 200 cold emails. I almost guarantee you won't get a client off it. Maybe, again, I'm just bad at cold emailing, but that's just me. If I do 200 cold calls, I guarantee you I'm going to get a meeting. One meeting. Doesn't mean he's closed out, but during that meeting, I know my conversion rate on what I'm going to, percentage I'm going to convert. So if I do 200 cold calls and I get 10 meetings and I convert 4 of them, that's 4 new clients. 4 new clients. There's also DMing. Again, the less personalized you get, the less conversion rates you're going to have. Also, too, a lot of people and a lot of agency owners, they want to do clients super far away. I leverage the fact that I'm local all the time. I have buddies who basically do agency work for across the United States. They're very successful. I like the fact that I'm local. I like to shake the business owner's hand, stare into their soul, and be like, dude, I'm here for you. It's worth it. If you don't think it's worth it, I'll give you your money back. It's legit, guys. I mean, I have to put in the mustard or whatever it is, the elbow grease to get it done. But once I get them on the hook and I'm like, look, give me your money, we can do this. And they do it, I perform. And I feel great. I love walking home with a check. It feels amazing. It feels way better than working $10 an hour. Okay? So there's a lot of channels out there. Cold calling, that's my baby, all right? Unfortunately, cold calling sucks, but cold calling's kind of goated. It is, I'm not going to lie. Don't sleep on it. Do your cold calls. You'll get meetings. You'll get clients. You just have to have the right conviction, and you have to understand what you're pitching. There's a lot to it, but you're never going to get better if you just study it and don't actually do it. Go out there and do it. Look at the data. If the data's shit, find where you need to improve. The data will get better. You'll convert more clients. You'll be a happier person. That's where I'm at. What I would tell myself day one, Brady, is have a dial, like how many dials you're going to do a day, 30, 40, 50. Dial them, lock it in, sort your leads, call only the best leads that you can call. Don't waste your time on stupid leads that you don't think are going to work for you or they're not going to have the budgets. Call, outreach. Half of the time I spend working should be outreach because I'm not at the point where I have too many clients. I'm not making too much money. I'm not having too much on my plate right now, which means I need to load my plate up. And that's what I'm gonna tell day one Brady that, and I'm gonna tell Brady now that because I'm still in that same position where yeah, I got a good base of clients. Yes, I'm doing good compared to day one, exceptional. But we could go further. We need to go further. So I run Facebook ads too. That helps with leads as well. But even those leads, the conversations don't always lead to a meeting, but a lot of the times it does because, again, we'll talk more about that, but that's more of a warm lead versus a cold lead because they clicked on my ad versus me just interrupting them in the middle of their day being like, hey, but it works. It really does. So seriously, if I was in your shoes and I had 0 clients, I would leverage my existing network immediately. Any service-based business or any business owner that you think it fits your ideal customer profile, the ideal clientele that you're trying to reach, you go to them in person and you say, listen, I'm really about this life. Give me a shot. Even do it for free if you have to. I'm not kidding. Get the case study. So when somebody asks you, do you have clients? Yes, I have client. You can say clients. You only have one client. But guess what? You have a case study now. You can prove to somebody that you're in an ad account. You can prove to somebody that you're working. Even if you have to do it for free, do it. Do it. You're going to learn a ton. You're going to learn a ton. Leverage your existing network, cold call, go in person. The more personalized you get, yes, it's more time invested, but the less you have to do it. If you're cold emailing, sending 100 cold emails a day, you're going to get burnt out. If you're knocking 50 doors, guess what? You're going to have a higher conversion rate because they saw you, they saw what kind of person you are, they saw you were hustling, and now they're personally attached to you in some way. They're personally vested. It matters. Go, go, go. Go up to bat, swing, miss, swing, miss. Swing as many times as you can. But when you go up to bat, make sure your bat is the best it can be. Make sure you're as locked in as possible. And make sure you're going the right channel. There's so many channels to do outreach in. The more personalized you get, the better you will do. I will drill that into you till the day you die. You can do DMs. You can do this stuff. I don't recommend it as much as I recommend cold calling, going in person, leveraging your existing network, leveraging case studies, asking your current clients, which again, this is in the future, if they know anybody that would benefit from marketing, reach out. Again, network, that's networking. That's really getting out there and pitching yourself. That is what networking is all about in this field. So if you found any of this helpful, guys, all I ask is that you do subscribe and stay along for the journey. I'm going to be making tons of content on marketing stuff, my experience, my journey, also for me to look back on, but also for you guys who are starting your journeys or just interested in business stuff. So please drop a sub. All my business socials are in the description, so you guys can check out how legit I am and, all that good stuff. So if you're new, please subscribe. Drop a comment, guys, if you enjoyed the video. What was your favorite part? What part did you hate? I don't care. Just interact with me. Okay, I'm lonely, I'm bored. Okay, local singles in your area. All right, I'm done. Anyway, guys, hope you have a great day, and it was great talking to you guys, talking to this camera, which is you guys, and have a great day.